All right, so it's my second day out on the water. Really kind of enjoying this so far. Appreciate the comments. I will say I had trouble dropping anchor. I wasn't grabbing, so I'm just drifting. I'll see how it goes. If I have to start up and move, I will. But just if you haven't seen the first video, God had called me out. He said, go out on the water and preach. So I am. And this is day 2. I don't know how long I'm going to do this. I think he's saying 40 days. We'll see. But interesting thing I would like to say first, the water is fascinating. Got my dog here with me, Benjamin. If you can see him, Benjamin, there he is. Fascinating thing about the water is that demons actually can't swim. When you're out on the water, you're safe from any sort of demonic thing. It's interesting, Jesus had something to say about demons in Matthew 12. 43. When an unclean spirit goes out of a man, he goes through dry places, seeking rest, and finds none. Then he says, I will return to my house from which I came, and when he comes, he finds it empty, swept, and put in order. Then he goes and takes with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter and dwell there. And the last state of a man is worse than the first. So shall it also be with this wicked generation. So what it says there is when an unclean spirit goes out of a man, so he can be in a man, and I find that strange because man's mostly water, but he can be in a man, and he goes through dry places seeking rest and finds none. So when he comes out of me, he can't rest. He's either got to be in something or he's got to be in a dry place. There is no other options for demons, apparently. You're either in a dry place or you're in some sort of creature. Now, I want to talk about kind of spiritual attack and demonic possession. One, if you're out on the water, you're in a good place. There is no doubt in my mind there are no demons anywhere near me right now because I'm surrounded by water. But in addition to that, they have to be obedient to Jesus Christ. They have to. So I can't just hang out on water all the time. At some point, I have to go to dry places as well. So there's an interesting point where there's a man, Matthew describes it as 2 men possessed by many demons, legion. And when Jesus shows up, it says this. This is 8 verse 28. And when he had come to the other side, to the country of Gergesenes, there met him 2 demon-possessed men coming out of the tombs, exceedingly fierce, so that no one could pass that way. And suddenly they cried out, saying, You, son of man, have you come here to torment us before the time? Now a good way off from them there was a herd of many swines feeding. So the demons begged him, saying, If you cast us out, permit us to go away into the herd of swine. Now there's a definite recognition of who Jesus is here and his authority. So the demons begged him, saying, If you cast us out, permit us to go away into the herd of swine. And he said to them, Go. So when they had come out, they went into the herd of swine. And suddenly the whole herd of swine ran violently down the steep place into the sea and perished in the water. It's a very peculiar thing to try to understand the habitation of demons. Because ultimately it led to their demise, but they would rather, they couldn't stand being in dry places, but that's all they could do. So they begged him to go into a herd of swine, because apparently dry places are awful. But they then went and perished into the sea, and that then is kind of a double whammy for them. So not only did they not get to continue to possess that man, but then they also had to go into pigs, and then they died. My guess is that was part of the plan, is that you suffer for what you have done. Was what Jesus, there was no mercy in that, so to say. I think they begged for mercy, but there was no mercy. So I think I'm gonna have to move, but get close to the danger buoys on the dam. Oh, there we go. So by the way, this is a 1965 Chrysler. There we go. Normally don't have this kind of problem. There we go. But this is a kind of a quick boat, so I'm on a no-wake lake at the moment. Just time-wise, they don't allow wakes before a certain time, so I have to go slow, keep it below 100 p.m. So there you go. I'm gonna hope you keep joining me out here. I'm gonna keep coming. I'm gonna be traveling to New York City later on this afternoon, and I kind of was trying to figure out how to get out on the water. So I think I'm gonna go to the Staten Island Ferry. So while I'm there, I'll be there just for the weekend. But while I'm there, I'm gonna go on the Staten Island Ferry. There's a pier near where I stay at, and also there's a ferry that takes you out to Liberty Landing Marina. I might try that as well. But I know there's some affordable boats to get on. New York City's an island community, so hope to see you there. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Feel called to support this channel with Patreon. That link is also below. The most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests, so please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of Got Family and Guns.